Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to part two of Live Ramblings for the day. I have just left a farmer's market, and surprisingly, there were not that many people, and it was not that picked over. There was no chicken. The whole chicken counter was empty except for some chicken feet. I did not need chicken feet. Nothing against chicken feet, but they're not my kind of chicken. Um, Beyond that, everything was good. They had everything. They're doing some construction down here, so parking's a little iffy just because of the construction. They got half the parking lot tore up over here on the left. But the only thing they did not have was dried black beans, and that's what I wanted. I haven't been able to find those anywhere. And I generally have them. Hey, Samantha, how are you today? Thank you for stopping by. I got some dried pinto beans over at the other market, and I have a gigantic bag of chickpeas, dried chickpeas that I got from the Indian market um, maybe 2 months ago that I haven't used yet. One nice thing about where I live is you name the ethnic market, and I can probably find it within a couple miles, or at least one that has that type of grocery in it. But I was very, very surprised that the market was not picked over at all. And which reiterated my plan in my head because I decided usually I go to the market and then I go to Kroger because the market can be iffy on things. It's pretty much, what's there is there. What brand they have is what brand they have, and it could be different from day to day. So I usually go to the market first and then go to Kroger. That way if there's something at the market that they're out of for whatever reason, I can get it at the Kroger. But today I did it the other way around because I knew Kroger would be more picked over. And I was right. Kroger's shelves were pretty bare. In the regular, because they have the health food section and the natural food section in a different area than the rest of the grocery store, they're still split. In the regular parts, the pastas, the dried foods, like dried beans and things, the rices, some other things, they were picked over. The junk foods, the pizzas, all of the frozen vegetables were gone. The things that it was kind of weird is the things that were picked over in the healthy food section were different than the other section. But the healthy food section wasn't that picked over, although they did move all of the eggs down to the other section, which was kind of crazy. But they were good on produce. They had all their produce. So it was just like people were eating the non-healthy things, stocking up, and leaving the things like that they should get, vegetables and fruits and stuff. Ugh. Bumpy holes. Amy, is that you? Hey, Amy. Can't actually read through my glasses, but I can kind of see the way that the name looks. I can tell who it is. I am nearsighted, and I should be wearing bifocals, but I don't because I can see fine without my glasses close up. And I used to wear like skinny glasses, but I don't do that anymore. So I need to switch to bifocals or progressives. When I get stopped, I'll read the chat as usual. I cannot read chat while I'm driving. Yay, bumpies. We are headed down through downtown Decatur to go deliver our groceries. We are delivering all of the groceries to the doors and not inside. We're not putting them away this week because one, people are home, and two, it's just better that way. The less contact with humans, the better. Sadly enough, although, I'm kind of good with that. I think that's my neighbor. Okay, let's see what chat has to say for a second. Alyssa's back. Thank you for coming back, Alyssa. Yeah, everything's pretty much shut down here too. They did not put a rule to shut down restaurants or. Oh, actually, the bread aisle in Kroger was packed. I think they had just delivered. It was fine, perfectly full. Yeah, their servers are going to be crazy. Hey, Ready Set Autism family, welcome to the stream. The governor never said that restaurants and bars had to shut down. They restricted to 250 people, and now it's down to 50 people. When the CDC changed to 50 people, they changed their rules. You're restricted to 50 people. However, there is no rule about how it's going to be enforced, put into place. So I don't know what they're going to do with that or who's going to enforce it. They were talking about that today. A lot of the little cities were making their own rules that bars and restaurants can't be open. Some bars and restaurants were just shutting down on their own. And no, it is not warm enough to be dressed like that. You don't really need a jacket, but you need something. But everything is pretty much carry out only everywhere now. Most of the restaurants have just done that on their own. But you see there's a lot of traffic. There's still a lot of people out wandering around. He's still got to go to work every night. Deliveries are still being made because we can't go in and eat, so people are having food delivered. Yeah, I'm actually from Canton, Ohio. Going back roads in the way that I used to drive, it took me about an hour to get to Pittsburgh, maybe a little more. And I remember people wandering around in shorts and bare feet. People are texting me, crazy people, and I can't read it. I mean, it's kind of, she's running, so. But there's such a disparity. I mean, you see the guy over here with a jacket and pants, heavy pants and everything. And there's actually a couple parking spaces. That never happens. They're doing something over here. Looks like they're filming. Maybe doing some catch-up filming. Or fixing some things, Oh, they're fixing the roof. My allergies are driving me crazy. It is pollen season here, which means without rain, everybody's walking around with swollen eyes and coughing because their throat's dry or what have you from the pollen, which does not help at all. The pollen season has just begun. Of course, staying inside is helpful. I have no problem with staying inside, away from the pollen. I love opening up all of my windows in the summer and in the spring when it warms up. You open all your windows, you air out your house, you get all that breeze blowing. You can't do that here in the summer or in the spring because pollen. You just yellow, I want to say a fine yellow dust, but you get this thick yellow dust of fine particles all over everything. This looks like business as usual out here, as far as people. There's a couple things I couldn't. Forgot to look for vinegar. I needed to get vinegar in Kroger. I forgot to look for vinegar because I do need to clean out my coffee maker. Um, they didn't have that at the farmer's market. I think that was the only thing. The peanut butter aisle was so picked over. They had jelly, just no peanut butter. So I'm not sure what are all these people doing with the peanut butter and not getting the jelly. But they have the grind your own peanut butter, but it's a they basically have peanuts that go through a grinder into a container, and there's your peanut butter. So I got that. It's far cheaper and better quality. Yeah, other than people not eating in the restaurants, it's business as usual out here. Looks like. I am in downtown Decatur, Georgia at the moment. And we're heading in towards Atlanta we're on Ponce de Leon Avenue, which here, because I'm in Decatur, it's called West Ponce de Leon Avenue. The locals just call it Ponce. That's how you can tell if somebody's from around here or spent any kind of time in town. They just call it Ponce. I love this house on the right so much. It's so beautiful. I don't know who lives there. Anyway. So we are coming out the other side of downtown Decatur into the East Lake area. We have a lot of neighborhoods here that are called things. They're not cities. They're just like little boroughs, if you will. If you're northern, you know what that means. We don't have townships here at all. When we go down Ponce, the main Ponce here, this will go back and join into the main. Built kind of an extension 4-lane road called Scott Boulevard that will go off to the right here, and now we're joining back in with the Ponce. Ponce continues straight, and then to the right would be Scott Boulevard. But when we go down through here, this is the old money, where old money used to live. The founder of Coca-Cola, etc. They used to all live down in here. And I apologize if you are not aware, our roads are horrible way to avoid them unless you want to hit another car or run up into the grass. Which part was built up like a city, Decatur? Decatur's weird because you have the city of Decatur and then you have unincorporated DeKalb with the Decatur address. Unincorporated DeKalb with the Decatur address is ginormous. It's huge. And it's spread out, and there are actual little cities that are pocketed in it, like Avondale Estates. And this is the part, the old money mansions that I was telling you about. One day I'm going to walk down through here and get some better video of to figure out whose house was whose and all that. It's kind of hard to do when you're driving and trying not to hit poles and other cars. There's a church here on the left. And now we are in Atlanta, unincorporated Atlanta. It's not the city of Atlanta. And they built little parks around this road too. Like you'll see the walking trail on the right. There's a little park area down in there. I'll show you, sort of. It's not far. It might be 5 miles apart, 5-6 miles apart, if that. You won't be able to see downtown from here because I have to turn off this road before we get there, but I can kind of give you an idea. But this is the area right here where the Candlers live. They founded Coca-Cola. Fernbank Museum is right here. One of these days I'll be going in there when we can actually go places again. Kind of mad I didn't go to all of these places and get film because now I have time to edit. I should have just went. If I would have known, I would have just went and got film at all of these places and edited later. There's some condos on the right here, and like areas that are houses and condos and townhomes and things like that. If you turn right here, this street will take you up to Emory University, backside of it, well, the main entrance really. Circle with Emory University Circle and all that. I call it the backside. The front side's kind of where the dorms are and the hospital and all that. It's kind of the front side to me because that's what I'm used to. You see some of these are churches or have been turned into churches. There's a private school on the left right here as well. A lot of my clients' kids go there. It's called Paideia, and they go different schedule from normal schools. There's some houses for sale on these streets up to the right. They're like $2 million houses at one point something. And they don't look that, they look like what would be a $400,000 house somewhere else. There's some lawyers' offices in there, in an old house. I love these houses here though because they're old and they're like they have stairs that go to weird places. I like that. When I was growing up, we had this Fraternal Order of Eagles. If you know what that is, some of you don't. It's just like a little club, like the VFW or what have you. My dad belonged to it, and he used to take us up to the old building when we were little kids. And during Prohibition, they had built all of these little. From here, if you go straight, you end up in Atlanta. Maybe like the city of Atlanta starts after this light, but you end up in downtown, midtown area. 2 miles, maybe, if that. Like as soon as you go over that hill up there, you can see the tall buildings. I just need to turn right here. Unfortunately, I don't have time to dilly-dally around today because I've got to get back so he can go to work. But I do have some other streams where I've gone into town and driven around downtown. And I'll have to see if I can't find that Instagram post because it's supposed to save them to my phone. Buckhead is not a place I go anymore. But it is, you can get through it to the back, through the back roads, several miles off. And what I'm going to do when I'm about to go somewhere that I don't want to put on screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the stream and then I'll come back to it maybe in about 5 to 10 minutes if you guys don't mind hanging out or coming back, either one. If one of my mods are in the channel still, if you could put that into the chat in case anybody comes in and wonders why I'm just a spinning wheel of death. I would appreciate it. I think that would be better than cutting the stream that way. It just can, cutting it and starting a new one. That way we'll continue on. So I'm going to do that here, and then I'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere, or come back if you go somewhere. Okay, guys, I am back. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. Thank you, Amy, for letting everybody know. We are headed off to drop number 2, and I'm going to take you guys the scenic way instead of through the neighborhoods like I would normally go, just to give you guys something to look at. think I've taken you up that way before. Plus, I'm kind of curious as to what they're doing in Virginia Highlands. Doggy! Doggy pee! Any of these little streets I can cut over and get to where we need to go. But if I go this way, then I can go over, and assuming that Ready Set Autism are still here, we can show them a little bit of the buildings from town. And I appreciate everybody hanging out while I made my delivery. I have told my next delivery I just want to drop and run as well. I don't want to. Usually I will go in the house and take things inside, and we're not doing that today because it's not a good day to do that. That's cool. It was only like 5 minutes, I think. It wasn't gone very long. You can think of it as a bathroom break in the park. But this street, when we turn right, will be in the city of Atlanta. And straight ahead goes down into Little Five Points. We're not going that way. We're going up this way. We go up. You can kind of see the AT&T building. It's foggy today, so it's a little hazy down there, but we're back on Ponce now. We're going to go up where this light is and turn right, go up Highland Avenue. It's where we need to be. But you can see in the haze down there, the building to the left, the pointy building, that's the Bank of America Tower, and the one to its right is the AT&T building. Here is the plaza. On the left is a car. You can't really see it. The Plaza Theater. Let me give you. Yeah, Plaza Theater is over in there, and there's Majestic Diner over there, which is a really old diner. This building over here on the right is really old, but they've painted it and done some things. This building here, Caddy Corner, right here with the cool drawings on the roof area, that is the building in Archer that they blew up, I believe. I know it's in Archer. I remember seeing, I think it was his office when they blew his office up. Most of the buildings that they've drawn in Archer are actual buildings around Atlanta. And this is Virginia Highlands. Just a little bar and restaurant and shop area. Mostly bars. I'm just curious, it's usually not this empty. Got somebody sitting in there eating. Yeah, we're allowed to go in and sit and eat. I think that, so one of the problems is a lot of people here in town, just as a general rule, don't cook or don't have groceries, and I think that caused a lot of the issues with the stock being gone on at the groceries, because people don't normally buy groceries. Were out buying groceries because they didn't know if they were going to be able to get into a restaurant and eat. And even though they're still doing delivery is kind of slow right now, just simply because people went out and bought groceries because they didn't know if the restaurants were going to stay open. But I love these little old houses here. I have a text message. But yeah, as long as there's not 50 people with the patrons and the cooks and everybody and the servers, they can still open. Atlanta is very heavy on the food industry here. Very, very heavy. The eating out, everything. Very reliant. That and tourism. Something like what we're going through right now could really, really hurt us. It's a pretty doggy down there. You guys can't see him. He's way down there. If you turn left here, you can take you down to Piedmont Park in Midtown. Keep going straight and then Y off to the left, which I'll show you up here. And this is right here on the right is one of Atlanta's oldest fire stations, if not the oldest. I don't remember. Maybe the oldest. But if you go up here and then like this road comes back into the other road that we were on. But if you Y off to the left, it'll take you up into Buckhead. It's really easy to get around here. Once you know the area, it's really easy to get around here because there's so many back roads that can get you where you need to go. You just have to learn them. And in doing delivery for so many years, I learned how to get around, so I can usually avoid traffic and most other incidents that are happening. But I mean, there's always eventually you're going to hit traffic somewhere. Now we're going into Morningside. What is her name? There's an author that lives up here I've delivered to. Starts with a K. I'm going to say Kate. She looks like a little pixie, little blonde pixie, and she does thrillers and horror books. I can't remember her name now, but I've delivered to her a few times up in here. Some good restaurants here on the left. Very popular bakery Alon's. The Doc Shay's is a really good restaurant. I picked up a lot of takeout there. If you turn right here, go through that neighborhood, you can get up into the towards Emory University, but it's better to go to the other street up here and turn right. That way you don't have to try to make a left on the Briarcliff without a light. The puppy. So if you take this left, if you turn right here, you go to Emory University. If you take this left here, you will go to Buckhead. But I'm going to pause the stream again for a moment because I need to go and make another delivery rather than cut the stream and start a new one. It's just better to pause it. And I will be back momentarily, and I want to thank you guys for hanging out. If you are still here, I shall be back. Well, I delivered that last little bit of grocery. Let me pull over here and see what I missed in the chat. No report user. There was chatting. Garrett and Michelle, welcome. Yeah, I was wondering if that San Francisco lockdown affected you guys or not, because I know you're near there. Thank you, Amy. I really, really appreciate you let everybody know what I was doing. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all. It's my holiday, the holiday of my people. Half of my people, anyway. There we go. Yeah, they don't want us going out and doing things. That's one thing about Atlanta, though, is people always go out and do things. You can't tell people not to go out and do things. But as long as they're keeping the gatherings small, the current legal level for gatherings is 50 people. They have not told, statewide, they have not told the restaurants and bars that they have to close. However, several cities have, and most restaurants that are still, that are allowed to open are just opening for takeout and delivery only. The Kroger was picked over. Everything was picked over in the Kroger. But we're going to go down through Emory University. Yay! The pollen and talking too much, I got a cough. Excuse me. Water. The delivery is really slow. I haven't been out. I've been talking to, because I've just been kind of waiting to see what happens. I've been talking to friends who are out doing deliveries, food deliveries, and it's very slow right now because everybody went to the grocery store. Something tells me today is the first day that people are really out running around outside because, like I said, you can only keep people inside for so long before they want to get outside. Especially here because it's such a beautiful day and we've had so much rain leading up to this and people want to be outside. We are on, Rock Springs Road. People scare me when they do that. We are on Rock Springs Road. We are headed towards Emory University. We just made kind of a little circle. We went up through Virginia Highlands and we're leaving Morningside area. Little doggy. When the bottom fell out of the housing industry, a lot of these houses, and I remember because this house right here on the left was one of them that I delivered to, the people who owned the houses, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Shoot, I need to go that way. We're not going through Emory University. Maybe we'll go up, I can't go up University, I guess we'll go back down this way. If I would have turned left, I could have gone around the neighborhood. Okay, so much for that. I guess we'll go down through Little 5 and go home that way. I have a house to check on to make sure that nobody's looted it, and then we'll head home. Hooey. Oh well. So we are on the road that we were on earlier when I made my first delivery. We're going to go past it again. So we pretty much just made a circle. An oblong, actually. I wanted to show you guys Emory. I think I've been down there before, though. My little circle of where I go is pretty small these days. I don't wander off too far anymore, but there's so much to see. Here's Callenwald. Callenwald it's an art center in an old mansion, and it's got a lot of cool stuff that happens in there. Not right now, of course, but and you may recognize this is where we were a few minutes ago. So thirsty and hungry too. I forgot to eat before I left the house. We are crooked. You guys are not supposed to be crooked. Straighten up. Okay, when we came down through here a minute ago, we turned right. We came from the left side, and then when we come back down and we turn right, went up there. Now we're going to go straight. So we'll just be all over this intersection. We're going down into Little 5 Points. We will Go through little 5 points to DeKalb Avenue. There's construction down here. The construction stops for nothing. It stops for no virus. Silly constructions. Let him go over there, and he won't be able to get back over. Well, he will, but there's a park to the left. To the right is Freedom Parkway. Well, it used to be called Freedom Parkway. Now it's John Lewis Freedom Parkway. They built that to cut through to alleviate some of the traffic on Ponce going into downtown. Lots of chatting. I hate that I can't see the chatting while I'm driving. Pretty purple trees. The purple trees are blooming. It's funny how the trees, the different colors bloom at different times. The white ones are always first. And then you have pink and purple are last. I did not realize this traffic was going to be happening down here. Would have went the other way. I could cut through this neighborhood to get to DeKalb Avenue, but then I have to make a left on DeKalb Avenue without a light, and nobody wants that. Mostly because where I come from, there are rules. If you have a fence that blocks the line of sight at an intersection, it has to come down. If you have bushes or trees that have overgrown and blocked the line of sight at an intersection, I think they give you like a week to take it down, or they'll come and cut it for you and then send you a bill, and it won't be a pretty cutting either. It won't look good at all because they just hack it away at it. They don't care. But here, we have no such rules. So a lot of these little streets, they come into DeKalb Avenue, which is a busy street, and they're blind. You can't see. Same with Memorial. You can't see, so you have to like try to inch out a little bit and hope you don't get your nose cut off of your car. I don't like doing that. So in order to avoid that, we sit in traffic for a minute. To the right, you'll see Savage Pizza and Junkman's Daughter. You get a better view today than the last time we came down. There is a community market on the left, a co-op. But we're going to do this so you guys can see to the right a little bit. You don't need to see the cars. The buildings are better. That is, Savage Pizza has like the one in Avondale has a comic book theme. I haven't been in that one. That's the original, to see what it looks like. And I have not been in Junkman's Daughter either, which is a thrift store. Plus, they have other stuff in there. It's a very kitschy, cool place that I have not been into yet, and I need to go in there. That is a place where I could film from. And then we have the Vortex, which, before you had this crazy hamburger craze that's everywhere, you had the Vortex. And then Psycho Sisters is behind here, and Wax and Facts, I think. Wax and something is a record store. But this is a very, very popular thrift store. There's an Irish bar over here. You go down in there, and there's more little 5 points down there. Oh, wow. Auction art sale. Huh, they're having an auction there. Used to know the owners for those two restaurants, and then all of a sudden they just, bye, we're not here anymore. The Wrecking Bar has got a cool building. That's a small brew pub. They completely renovated that building. That is Little 5 Points. I wish the camera would have stopped on the vortex long enough to make that a thumbnail. Now we are on DeKalb Avenue. It has different names in different places. Right here it's called DeKalb Avenue. And there's not really anything to look at to the right, so. What's a record? I have a whole bunch of old records at home that somebody had given me, and I need to go through and catalog them. That's a barbecue restaurant on the left, which apparently is open and seating people on the patio. They don't really have enough seating to sit more than 50 people in there anyway. Pretty flowers. DeKalb County Sheriff. I didn't do it. Guy. I do like my city. I'm kind of bored with it, but Atlanta's cool. It's a cool city. Little pockets of things. The gentrification hurt us a lot. The influx of the movie industry hurt us a lot. It helped us some, but it hurt us more. Eventually, it'll all even out. I'm pretty sure what's going on right now is going to be a great equalizer. Turn left on that road and go up. There's a good breakfast place up there. And then if you've been with me before, you know up here on the right you will see it's a cool mural on the left. And there's trains. You might not see it. Oh, it's a short train. That is where they film so much stuff. You can Google Pullman Yard if you want, and that's where they film a bunch of stuff. Fast and the Furious was in there. All kinds of stuff is in there. And of course the potholes. Looks like they shoved stuff in the potholes for a minute. Some of them anyway. I'm not yawning. I'm not. You're yawning. Usually go straight here, so you can go straight or you can like turn right here. There's two roads that run parallel with the railroad tracks in between. There's different places where you can cross under or over them, and we're going to go ahead and turn right, cross under them, and go down this way today. Ouch, scratch my nose. I'm not touching my face. So we're going to go down through here. Yay. I scratched myself and I'm bleeding. That's not cool. That's what happens when you let your nails grow out. So you have here on the left, you have a MARTA track. There's a really nice restaurant there too, Sun in My Belly. But you have a railroad track for MARTA, which is our transit system, as well as a freight track. And that is the East Lake MARTA station. Well, that's the parking area, and then you go, there's parking on both sides, and then you go up over the roads and go to the station itself. Something was filmed where that green fence is. Something was filmed in there. I don't know what. Something was. But now they're doing something else with it. There is the best donuts in the city. are here in this building on the right at Revolution Donuts. There's also a beer store there, Ale Yeah. And they used to park in this parking lot here. They used to park trailers when they filmed stuff around here, but now they're putting townhouses there. See, down here you can see the road that we usually drive on is over that way. That way. You can find record players pretty reasonably now, honestly. I think I paid like $20 for mine at a Black Friday. It was it's got a radio on it and all that, but it's compact, but it's a record player with a radio and all that stuff. I had bought one used, which I do not recommend without doing your research first. Because it needed a needle, and unfortunately it was a record that the record player that the needle was very, very hard to find, that they don't make anymore. So I ended up having to give that to someone else. As you can see, there is no school. City of Decatur is to the left. We drove through there earlier. It's not very big. And Agnes Scott College, which I have mentioned before. I still don't remember the name of those movies where Martin Lawrence goes into drag and plays an undercover cop. He's an old woman. They were filmed there. They filmed parts of it there. We're going to go to the post office, where I will end the stream. We still have a few minutes before we get there. Miss my doggy. My client lives near here. I don't get to see my client for the next who knows how long. My doggies. Stay put. Used to be Ace Hardware right there, and they closed down. They haven't done anything with the building yet. There's some cool little shops and restaurants, tattoo and hair parlors and stuff like that in here. A church in there as well. iWag has a location right there. There's a bunch of little stuff all in throughout here, which it used to be inexpensive, but is not now. But some people live in those warehouses back there too, which is kind of cool. But I'm sure that prices are going to go up on that. See that Waffle House on the right is the very first Waffle House ever. It is now a museum. We are now in Avondale Estates. And red lights. Used to live in those apartments there on the right a long time ago, a couple years ago. Lived there for a while too. It's a great location, but around here it's just changed so much. On the left here is a store called Odds End Collectibles. I know the owner, but he's got some very odd things in there. Very odd. He collects some odd stuff. They actually wanted to do a reality show about his shop, and he turned them down. He didn't want anything to do with it. And then you see this Waffle House on the left was the one that was built to replace that Waffle House. And we have a pho restaurant in there now, Viet Vana. They were a little shaky when they first opened. I don't think they were really ready for us and what it would mean for all of us to descend on them. The restaurant here on the left called My Parents' Basement. If you go to Two Real Geeks channel, I think they did a video on it. I do not like them. The restaurant, not Two Real Geeks. We have never had a good experience, and the food has been mediocre at best. They do have craft beers, which I really don't. I'm not into beer, so they do have craft beers, and they do have. I'm gonna park over here today. They have craft beers, and they have comic books and pinball machines. But beyond that, it's not anything. They take food and they try to make it. They try to change it up to make it fancy, I guess. I don't know. And the service was never on point. But for the longest time, they were the only thing here that was open late. So they kept a lot of business that way. But I am going to be ending the stream now because I'm going to run into the post office and then go to another client's house and then head home where I have much homework to do. Monarch Moments. There is a skit. There's a channel called It's Southern Y'all, or It's a Southern Thing, something like that. I can link it later in the channel below in the comments. They did a skit where they compared Google Home, Siri, and Alexa. Google won. Google won. It was hilarious. But anyway, I'll link that in the comments later. Yes, a landmark. When things get back to a little bit of normal, I'll take everybody downtown, drive around downtown, maybe next week or later on in the week. We'll see. I did it on my Instagram channel, and I kind of wish I would have done it on the YouTube channel instead. But I appreciate everybody popping by and hanging out while I was doing my deliveries. People are texting me, and I'm looking at my watch instead of talking. But I'm going to hop off here now. I have to get this done and run home so he can go to work. And I will see all of you guys later on the stream. Please hit the subscribe button. Please, if you're not subscribed, hit the like button. If you are subscribed or you're not subscribed, if you hit the like button, I will be very happy. I want to thank the mods for helping out. I appreciate you. And I appreciate everybody for stopping by. So we're going to let these men do their yard work and go check our post office box. So you guys have a wonderful day.